by asking you any update at all on the Scottish Cup situation, or are we still just looking at
nothing yet, Charlie. I think it's Friday, isn't it? They're going to make their decision, so I think both clubs just have to sit back, to be honest with you. That's where we are.
So the situation is as it was when the story broke yesterday?
Yeah, there's nothing moved on at all. I don't think even the people at the SFA have moved on. They've just made the date and we just sit and await the outcome.
How big a sort of impact on your thinking for this week as this revelation had? Because obviously you're trying to get a league programme going. Is it an interruption or is it an opportunity or what?
Full concentration in the Morton game. I've not even thought about it when I heard it yesterday. In fact, the night after, like a couple of hours after the game. And I was like, all right, okay, and it just switched off. And then yesterday there was obviously, you hear things coming out about when the date, the hearing's set, and we just have to sit and wait. We can't take it any other way. Certainly no, when it comes to Morton, that I've even thought about it than that, to be honest with you.
Particularly when you're entertaining a team that's just 1 point behind you in the table.
Yeah, that's how big a game it is. That's where we're at. We just have to take as many points as possible. We're on a good wee run in the league. Disappointing the other night, although we brought a lot to the game. We had chances at vital times, although Queen's Park had more possession. We've had a good month there, and we move into the new month and we want to keep it going. I've said to the boys, 14 games to go. We get as many points as we can to see where it takes us. I think that's a simple message. Start looking too far ahead, then you get yourselves into a bit of trouble.
But even a small number of points, won or lost, could make a big difference with that mid-table sitting.
That's why Wraith, when I said that after it, could be a vital point, Charlie, for where we want to go. Just try to get in those playoffs first and then try and build on that. We just want to get the heads down, work hard, try and take the Cove and the Arbroath performances into games, get as many goals, as many points, and see where we go. And that's exactly the mindset of my staff and the players.
So obviously I believe this would mean 5 matches unbeaten, and obviously to get a positive result on Saturday as well. How much would that kind of boost momentum even further?
Yeah, it would, but we want to win it. We want to win it, of course. I think it would be a huge 3 points. Yeah, taking a point would be keep the unbeaten run going, but we want to make sure 3 points is the main objective here. I don't want to play for draws. We never set out to play for draws, but sometimes you've just got to take it in the chin. And as I said, it was a well-earned, hard-working point at Wraith. But I would like to think if we play the way we can, that we can go and win this game. But it's a tough game. Morton have had a great season so far. We've got to be at our best.
What do you think's kind of clicked for the team, I guess, over this kind of run that you've built up?
Confidence, Liam. Scoring the goals against Cove and Arbroath, and then playing so well against Queen's Park. Could have gone either way. Just it snowballed into the Wraith game, because I don't think we were at our best first half against Wraith, but because of that confidence and momentum with those 3 results previous to that, we end up getting a point because we had that never say die attitude and got a brilliant equaliser from the free kick. So that's where it takes us. It's a snowball effect thing, that.
And obviously Morton have proved what they're capable of this season. How are you feeling about obviously coming up against them? What do you think they're going to?
Well, they've beaten us twice this season, so that shows you how tough a game it is. 1-0 here with the penalty late on, and then 4-0 down there. So real sore one to take when we've played them. I thought we played well in patches down there, but we just threw them goals. I think we're in a better place. I think we've got more players. We've got more personnel as well, Liam, to go and be a real threat against them. So I'm hoping for a positive performance, keep this momentum going, keep this unbeaten run going, and take all 3 points.
Just finally for me, I know the transfer window's closed, but you obviously brought in a player short term just before Christmas in November. Do you think for the rest of the season there could be a chance of that happening, or is it just injury dependent?
We've said to the boys the other night after the game, we're actively looking, but it's got to be right. I think that's the message as well. It can't be anything else. We can't just take a player for the sake of it. So we're actively looking, and we'll see what comes our way.
Perfect, that's good. Thanks for that.
Cheers, Liam.
Hey Billy.
Hi.
And are you feeling that you will be granted a Scottish Cup reprieve, given we've seen Brecon in the past, a similar situation, put out of the Cup for a similar offence, fielding an ineligible player?
There's a few teams in the past, but and you know what, it's not the way we want to go through, but of course if it comes our way, we'll accept it and we'll take it, and it would be good for the club. But until this hearing's over, why should we get involved? I mean, we're just sitting back waiting for the outcome, and I don't think it wouldn't do us any good if we started commenting on it and what we want to happen, how we feel about it. I think we've got to not kid you on and say it would be good if we get into the next round. That's football, by any manner or means. Would I like to have won it? But to comment on it, to say and answer your question about what we think should happen, I think would be wrong.
And just on the transfer window and players coming in and that sort of thing, I mean, how pleased are you and happy are you with the squad you have, if this is the squad you have going forward, to try and push for promotion this season?
Really happy. I think you see, it doesn't take a genius to work out, since we've got our players back, that we've had 4 really good results. Would I like to have won all 4, but we've played against hard opposition, getting a draw away at Wraith and a draw against Queen's Park, who are the leaders, and we've won the other 2. So when I got my players back, we started getting results. Lo and behold, no miracle there, and we've got a few more on the verge of coming back. So really happy with the squad. If I could get them all back, I'd be absolutely delighted.
And obviously 2 great draws against tough opposition, but you'll be hoping now that if you're going to be challenging, you need to get those victories.
We've got to do it, Stephanie, now. We've got to grasp the opportunity, the situation. We've got ourselves within touching distance. I've said to the boys, the local boys, so many times, just hang in there, keep onto their coattails, because when we get our full quota, we're hoping to go on a run, and as I said, see where it takes us. But we've got ourselves to where we want to be. We were a wee bit adrift, even like playoff spots. Now we're right in contention.
That's great, thank you.
Cheers.
Billy, the new lads you're mentioning, the lads coming back from injury.
It does feel like it, Alistair. I'm the same. I'm like new signings.
I was going to say they will be like new signings. That's the cliche, but they'll also be, they'll be relatively fresh, I suppose, and hungry. Given the absence, is that a real bonus at this time of the season?
I'm hoping they have an edge, but it can work the other way. As you see the other night, I'll have to get them fit as well, so you can get that adrenaline one when they all come back and they give you a burst, but then they're breathing. So there's a fitness issue as well. So we'll have to get them fit. We'll work on that. We've been doing that in training, but you can't beat the match fitness. You've got to get it into them somehow. It's hard to get games up here, as you know, but we've got to get that first team competitive edge into them. You see, it was great to get Cammy Harper 45 minutes the other night, and Scotty Allardyce just about an hour or just over, which was brilliant. And we'll have to do the same with the other boys. It's judging when to put them in, how many to put in, just to get that edge back. But delighted to have them back, and I'm hoping the adrenaline gives them a wee rush as well. But they're going to have a wee dip at some point on top of that.
Just a last one. Can we expect to see anyone on Saturday that's been out for a while, or?
There's 1 or 2 push it. I think it's just a bit early to be in the first team squad for the game, but there's 1 or 2 back on the training ground, which is good.
Yeah, good stuff. Thank you.
Billy, just a quick one about Cammy Harper. He went off at half time. Was he carrying a knock?
No. I just think we had to try and get a hold of the ball more. Nothing to do with Cammy, because Cammy's really good on the ball, very creative and very technical, and he a good shot in the first half when he burst through. I just thought he was blowing. he was blowing, and with him and Scotty back together, I thought, right, we're maybe just losing out in midfield, but nothing to do with Cammie's performance. I thought he did really well at times. He was blowing, and it was brilliant to get 45 minutes in him, and I think it will help him so much, and he's a big player for us. So that was my thinking behind it. And Aaron, I didn't start him because it's 3 in a week, where, you know, tough games away at Wraith, and then that cup tie, and then Morton on Saturday. So we had to make sure we're looking after the certain players of a certain age at times, where you just can't churn them out week in, week out, especially when you get a three game week. So I'm kind of thinking everything, Chalky.
Yeah, that's my only question. Thanks, Billy.